Hey everybody, welcome back to Survivor Garage 1969, and this video is going to be about the condition of the rocker panels on my 69 Rally Sport Z28 Camaro, and they're exceptionally clean, no rust, no rot, never any repairs. The entire undercarriage of the car is the same way, no rust, no rot anywhere. And it's in good shape considering what the car's been through with the previous owners. Because like I said in another previous video, this car's had the shit beat out of it. And at one point, well, I did undercoat the car, and I did chip off some of the factory undercoating actually on this side off the floor pan, and the steel looks like it just came right off the out of the press. And anyways, the exhaust system on the car, that's a pipes PYPES system. It's all stainless. It does have, you can see right there, there's the X, and it's all one piece. And then the in the back there's one muffler between, you can't see it, between the rear end and the gas tank, and the pipe goes straight through. It's just perforated. There's no chambered muffler like Flowmasters, and it's a decent system. Like I said, it's all stainless, and I do have stainless polished tips for the back, but they're not on there right now. And but anyways, you notice here I've got the slapper bars on it. These were actually on my other Z28, and the other car, I had a piece welded in above the rear end, because 69s, well, 68 through 69, I think, Camaros and Firebirds, they had staggered shocks. And when you launch the car off the line, the bad habit of these things kicking sideways pretty bad. Well, that bar, because when you eliminate the stock upper mounts, both shocks are directly behind the rear end on these Lakewood traction bars. And a piece that I had a guy weld in years ago in the other car was a Lakewood. And now this car being assembled late December of 68, when they came out with the 69 body style, the rear upper frame rails in the back were further apart. Later in 69, they narrowed them in a little bit. So when the guy welded the bar in for the shocks, he actually had to modify it a little bit, just basically cut it down, and then, so he could weld it up in there. But yeah, now all that stuff, that bar, I'm not going to have welded in on this car. I still have it. My other Z28, I had subframe connectors. No, they're not going on this car. The only thing that's on here from the other car as far as traction is them slapper bars, and that's good enough, and then they do work really well. They are adjustable, and the underneath of this car, it is so filthy. It just needs detailed, but there's no sense in doing anything with it right now because I got to finish painting the car. And then but yeah, like I said in the other videos, I've not touched anything on this car since 4 years ago, actually this coming June, when I broke my neck. And then I did do a little bit of painting on some panels last summer, and which they actually turned out real good. I got some tech tips from the friends of mine at the local auto body supply store on a spraying technique, because I am spraying the car metallic, and to eliminate the tiger striping and stuff like that. And what they told me to do actually worked very well, but I have to get a little bit more fluid, how would you say, in the movement of spraying. But it's not really that difficult. But I'm still rehabbing from 4 years ago, from my broken neck. There was some paralysis, and then I have to watch when I walk, especially stepping sideways, because the paralysis that I got from my broken neck, I lost quite a bit of sensation in the lower part of my legs. So, I kind of have to watch how I step And but you know what? I'm not giving up. Your body will adapt, but you just have to work, in order to get yourself back as close as what you once were. So, okay, this is the passenger side. Like I said, no rust, no rust, no rot. And then on the rockers, this rocker, and I will go around the driver's side and show you that. Okay, this is the driver's side rocker panel. Uh, no rot, no rust anywhere. Never had to have any work done on these. And same thing with the condition of the floor. On this side, the entire floor of this car, uh, from front to back, the trunk pan, everything, shock mounts, everything, wheel wells, no rot, no rust, nowhere. And like I said, surprisingly, for what this car's been through with the previous owners, it's absolutely amazing. It just amazes me that the condition of the car, because it's had the shit beat out of it, and that's not my intentions to do with the car. I'm not gonna race it. Little hole shot, maybe a little burnout, something like that, but that's it. You know, when I ran my other 69 Z28, this is 30, 40 years ago, on the street here in Mansfield, Ohio. Uh, when I was telling you about the slapper bars and the bar above, I had welded in the rear end, to put both shocks directly behind the rear end. I'd launch that car anywhere. It was 4 speed, from 32 to 5500. Oh, that thing was a bitch coming off the line. It was nasty. And but I'm not going to do that with this car. Like I said, I put an automatic in this. It's got a 3000 stall, and no, it's respectable for what it is. And to go out and race on the street like I did years ago, yeah, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to crash the car and stuff like that. I want to enjoy it, and yeah, so that's what the condition here is. Like I said, there's no rust, no rot, and it's amazing. Like I said, for what this poor thing's been through. Oh, look at them skinny tires on the back. I actually had them on the front of my Z. Yeah, can you imagine hole shotting with them little suckers on the back? You'd wing them son of a bitches off like you wouldn't believe. And I'm putting stock rallies on it, 15 by 7s, and I've already got new tires mounted on the rims, all that stuff. Waiting for when the car's completed. Now the next videos that I'm going to do, I'm going to start the body work process. I've got to do the driver's side fender in the upper jam area. I don't know what happened. It could be my fault. I don't know, but there was some sort of contaminant, and in the jam area, when I done the etch primer, seal or whatever, it lifted, and so I got I used the same stuff on the other fender. When I shot that, there was no issues. But I'll do a video on that, and what I got to do to clean that jam area out. Basically, take a little die grinder, with a roller lock on it, Scotch-Brite, and just sand all that stuff off, and clean it real good. And then, but yeah, it actually, like I said, I've done that before. But there's something that must have been in the metal that cause that stuff to lift. So, well, it's better to happen with the etch primer, the primer, whatever, rather than getting color on there, then have that happen. So, but that'll be the next videos coming up, is me starting that. And when I do that and I get ready to cut in the jams, that I do outside. And because it's a small deal. But when I go to shoot the fender, the same thing as the doors when I do that, because everything's being painted separate. I got a little pop-up canopy in my backyard I put up, and it's a perfect little paint booth for that. The main body of the car is going to be painted here in the garage. But I'm going to get a lot of the small stuff done first. Then I'll address the main body. Hopefully that'll happen this year. But as much of the small stuff, like I said, the door's got to be color guided. The hood is actually ready for color guiding and possibly color. And the spoiler, cowl panel, valance panel, header panel, that in the bottom corner front pieces of the fenders, that's already done. And but yeah, this is a condition. So like I said, the next video is going to be when I start the painting process, and then then we'll go from there. Like I said, I just want to invite everybody along as I try my best to complete this project I started. So, and thank you much for watching, and it's going to be an interesting journey to see how this goes. And so now the funny part is getting down on the floor is easy. Yeah, now the getting up, that's where the work comes in. Oh my God. So again, thanks for watching. Appreciate you.